Hello, everybody. This is Adam from Pits and the Flood for the Win, and my cohort is down below, Rob from Buxes and Six. This is something we're going to do every month. We're going to talk to you about hockey cards and our hockey pickups of the month. And if you see this beauty over here, one of the newest members of the Hall of Fame, Shane from Shoebox Legends is joining us all the way from the blizzards. And, I wonder if you've been able to get out of the house at all.
We're all dug out. Yeah, spring
There
is
you
coming. It
go.
was 50 degrees today, so there's hope around the corner here. So
Oh my gosh, you guys got crushed though for a couple of days.
it's been a rough winter. I can see myself moving south at some point, which I don't usually say, but it's been a tough winter. Yep.
It looks good when you're doing your summer photos and you got the birds in the background, and that it looks really good then.
That's it. Short season. All the seasons are short up here, but
Yep. Well, how you doing, Rob?
Oh, keeping really busy. This is a real busy time of year for me, but I love carving out some time to sit down to look at cards and do this with you. It's something I look forward to, kind of the exhale time of my day. So it's been go until I sat in this chair. Now we can have some fun.
There you go. Well, Shane, since you're the our guest on the channel, we'll start off by showing like 4 or 5 cards each. We'll just keep going around, and because unfortunately I do have some stacks that I've got. I picked up a few things.
February is a short month and there wasn't a leap year, so my stack's a little smaller than that, but I'll do the best I can here.
Let's start off.
You guys know, we've been friendly for a while. I'm a big fan of the buybacks in general. I usually show baseball buybacks for the most part on my channel, but I do like the hockey ones as well. And so they represent kind of a good portion of what I've picked up over the last month. So this is the first one here. So originally, this is a 92 Ultra, which I know is a really well-loved set. A huge fan of this design. I love the backs on these as well. And in 2016, Upper Deck did a set called Fleer Showcase, and they released buybacks of the 92 Ultras inserted in those packs. They're serial numbered to 25 copies, so I've been hunting these down for about 10 years now, off and on. And this Denny Savard here, Hall of Famer Denny Savard, just popped up last month, or earlier this month, so I snagged this one and added it to the buyback collection. It's a little tough to make out, but these are serial numbered to 25 right on the front of the card, so you can easily kind of distinguish them from the 92 Ultra originals. So
I love the coffee cup in the back. That's just great.
yeah, you got the advertisement back there on the boards, and of course he was famous for like the Savard Spinorama, and really good player back in the day. So they're really hard to find, being numbered to 25. Like I don't know that I'd ever seen a Denny Savard prior to this, so I pounced on this right away when it popped up at a really cheap price earlier this month.
I bet it's probably still more expensive than his rookie card because you can basically give that damn thing away, which I don't understand. Denny Savard was one of the best players of that era and was always in the top 5 in points almost every year, or at least top 5 in goals, and was a dynamic player. He was McTavish, he was McDavid in that way, with the speed and the spinorama, and yet you can pick up his rookie cards in common boxes sometimes. I've been amazed where I found them.
100%. And he played for big franchises too, like the Canadians, the Blackhawks, like original 6, big franchises. But yeah, funny, he's just not one of those guys. There's the hobby, and then there's real life sports, and they don't always drive for whatever reason. So made the card cheap. So, and then I guess the other 3 that I have in this first stack that I'll do are also buybacks. I'm trying to get some of those out of the way first. But these are Pro Set buybacks. So I've shown some of these on my channel, but in 2020, Leaf, the company Leaf, got the rights to Pro Set, and they made a small set called Pro Set Memories. And in those boxes, you get 2 original Pro Set buybacks, and they're numbered really low. They're numbered to 5. So these are, nobody cares about Pro Set. They're kind of like a laughing stock of hockey cards, but I love them. Like, I know they printed 1 million. They're not worth anything, but they were some of the first sets that I collected back in 1990, especially this first 1990 set. So I'm always on the lookout with one eye open for these buybacks as well. And I got this one last month. This is Al McGinnis on the All-Star card here. So you got that great NHL All-Star jersey from the late 80s. And of course, he was the owner of like the most vicious slap shot of my youth era as a fan. So Yeah, just a cheap buyback, numbered to 5. It's a fun way to collect these sets with a little bit of a challenge element to it, because otherwise I could go get this card for 5 cents on Sport
Right.
Lots and have it shipped to my house. But seeking out something like this, it gives me a challenge element. It took me years to find a copy of this, so it's a little bit more rewarding. But at the same time, it was like a $10, pickup. Hall of Famer buyback, so perfect for my collection.
Beauty.
Yeah,
And then,
that's gorgeous.
Yeah, and they did buybacks from all 3. So ProSet put out 3 sets before they went bankrupt. And in that one 2020 release, they did buybacks for all 3 of the sets. So this is another all-star buyback, but this is from the second year ProSet release in 1991. We got Luke Robitaille here.
Another underrated guy you can pick up for $10. You can pick up his rookie card sometimes. It just is mind-boggling.
Yeah, these are those guys that are kind of in that second tier. They're Hall of Famers. They're some of the best players of their era, but they're sort of starting to get forgotten to history a little bit, at least for the casual sports fan. So I love collecting those kinds of players. And I actually found this one went up at the same time from the same seller that had the Al McGuinness. So I just grabbed both of them, and always on the hunt for those. And then the last ProSet buyback I have, this is also from the first set, but one of the things I loved is that they did all kinds of really cool subsets in those ProSet releases. So you had like coach cards and team logo cards and veteran cards, and they did referees. And this is like one of the few times in the history of hockey cards that I think referees got their own cards and got included in the release. So I always like finding the buybacks of the referee cards as well. So
nice.
Yeah, just another sub $10 pickup, but really takes me back to my collecting youth, and a lot of nostalgia in those ProSet releases. So
I think that first ProSet, I still think it's one of my favorite sets. I know it's cheap. I know it's corny, but I just liked it. I thought they did a good job with the photography. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, the photography is great. The design is simple, but it's got great team color matching, and it just looks really nice. So yeah, I mean, for $15, you can probably buy the whole set and put it in an album, and it really looks nice. So yeah, so that's my first round, some Fleer Ultra and some ProSet buybacks.
All right, Rob, to you.
Well, again, I guess I don't have an order of things here. I'm just going to grab off the top. Actually, this first one I've got is a card that Shane actually, I don't know if you remember this. I'm sure you do. You sent me the link when you found this. It's a relic. It's a stick relic, and it's Daniel Sedin. And what I love about this relic is it got the multiple colors on this stick. Sometimes you find them that I've got another one that's just plain, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just adds that extra element of having that multiple colors on that stick, and these relics just look beautiful. This is, whoa, it just fell out of the case. I took it, the case I have it in is scratched because I don't have very many of those 130 point cases. So the only ones I have are kind of old and getting scratched up. So I took the lid off of it so you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, that was a beautiful card, and it's no secret. I talk about it all the time. I'm a Vancouver Canucks homer, so
God bless you.
What I grab is those.
Yeah, I was glad you snagged that one. That was a really good deal. And like you said, those stick relics are so unique compared to like baseball bat relics or other things like that. They're just really, really cool.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Keeping on the relic theme, and actually same guy. This is a jersey relic, though. This is another Sedin silhouette. So, and I've been grabbing these. I try to pick up Daniel and Henrik Sedin's. If I ever buy a card of one of them, I try to find the other one. So I have to try to find the matching one for Henrik. So this is the Daniel, and I don't even have my cheaters on to see what year this one was from, but I just love the way that those relics look. And this one is kind of unique, where it's kind of gotten on both sides of the image.
Yeah, that's a good looking card, man. I love that. I love the writing because I like that vintage type writing that's on there.
For sure. And then another relic that I picked up that is from the same year. I'll pull it out of the sleeve I have. And this is Luongo, another jersey patch. So, and this one is numbered to 99. But I've been trying trying to grab players from that run to the cup that we had, and trying to get relics of all of them. So, and like I said in our last month's episode, I really don't have a whole lot of Luongo, and so that's a guy that I'm trying to target to kind of bolster that corner of the collection, though. So I got those 3 relics, and they're all different, but from the same era.
Yeah, I think that Luongo's a Panini card. They made some amazing cards. I miss their hockey era.
Yeah, for sure. This is if I get in the right spot. This is a Panini. You can see its number there at the bottom. So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you got, Adam?
I got a lot of young guns. I got going on this project, and when I get going on a project or go down a rabbit hole, it could be dangerous. And it can also be scary. And I got on this run. I had gotten a couple, but that was it. I decided I'm going to do this thing. I'm probably about 80% there of trying to get all of the young guns, because this is the only sport where there is a true rookie card and there's no questioning it.
Right.
Everybody's best rookie card in hockey is from Young Guns. If you weren't in Young Guns, then you were from a different era. But from 92 on, within a couple years, they're not doing it. I went and checked. It's not even close. It's like 2-1 hands down. It's the Young Guns. So I just said, I want to get the whole Olympic team.
Oh, sweet.
In that. And then I had another thought. I'm just starting it, but I'm also going to do the complete Finnish team, because they all have Young Guns.
No way.
And they all the members of the Finnish hockey team this year were all NHLers. They weren't like any of the other teams. They were one of the only other teams beside Canada and US that could just fill the whole team with NHLers. And
that's awesome.
So Adam,
I'm gonna show you the start of right here's the Eichel.
Sweet.
Which I got this one right before the Olympics, so I got him at a good price.
Back in 2015, that was a huge card. That was a very expensive card when he first came into the league. It's come down quite a bit now, so you were smart to wait.
Yeah, it's usually between $50 and $60. It was well over that. Noah Hannafin.
I got to tell you, Adam, this is why we all enjoy your content so much, because you always come at things at an angle I never would have thought of. That's a really cool concept to buy them all from the Olympic team. That's tremendous.
Yeah, doing the Young Guns. The only Young Gun that's probably maybe won't get done will be the Austin Matthews, because it's already at $700, $800, $900 for a raw one. It's the only one that's gone completely out of range. So that's Noah Hannafin. Now he plays now for Vegas, but he was one of our good defensemen. Brock Nelson. I love this year, the Young Guns. It's kind of an orange background. It's pretty nice, but our backup goaltender, Swayman. And I love these, the ones with them going up the side. The Young Guns didn't do a bad product, did they?
No, they've been, like you said, they're the gold standard of hockey rookie cards. Yep.
This is the Linus Olmik. The reason I get him, Olmark, is he's on Ottawa now, and I'm a big Ottawa fan. I like that young team. So Vincent Trocheck, who played his role. There's a reason you didn't stack your team with, like, I had a buddy of mine we were watching the games going, how come they don't have more star players? And I'm like, because we need Trocheck, because he wins like 70% of his faceoffs, and that's what he was in there for.
Right.
So Cooper got smart and said, I got to get people who can play the position that I need them to play. I'm not going to just go after superstars. He was vital.
Oh yeah.
He was real.
Yeah.
So,
they won that gold medal because they killed 18 out of 18 penalties, and
Hellenbeck, God bless him, stood on his head finally. Yeah. Usually in big games, Connor isn't exactly the goaltender of the month club for me. This is Joel Eriksson Ek. I follow Minnesota because our favorite player, Rob, Mr. Quinn, got traded to him. So it's like I gotta watch him because they're too fun to watch.
Yeah,
I gotta watch Quinn. He's worth
I live over here in right on the border of Minnesota, so I get all these Wild fans kind of rubbing it in that they've got my guy now. So, but I got to still root for him. He's too good not to appreciate. So,
This is our third goaltender at the Olympics, Jake Ottinger. Again, this is one of my favorite players, Tag Thompson. He was big in the Olympics, and he's 6'5". There aren't too many wingers that are 6'5" that play like he does, because this is a scorer. He's not playing right wing on the third or fourth line and going to beat somebody up. Right. This is a scorer. This is, as Rob knows, because I show a lot of these cards last month. I got a lot more to show you next month too. But this is my favorite player, Alex Tuck on Buffalo. I've always liked him ever since he came up. There was something about him when he played for Vegas that I liked. Ukko-Pekka, Finnish goalie.
Yep.
So Jake Sanderson from Ottawa, who was another Olympian, quietly did his job, was really solid. And then a couple canvas cards. I told Shane about it, so he's going to send me some, but I have fallen in love with these canvas cards. These things have some beautiful photography. Talk about a card that needs to be slabbed. It's these canvas ones. And then this one's got Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson.
That's nice.
Yeah, I figured they both just got the news at this particular thing, and they're both like sad.
I just dropped a nice batch of canvas cards in the mail today to you, so you should have those early next week.
I'm looking. I mean, I'm overblown by how nice they are once you get them.
I've always compared them to like Stadium Club for hockey because they have a very similar feel, like in the photo selection.
Yes.
I don't have it. I wish I had it handy. I've got one of my favorite cards is one of those canvas. It's a Thatcher Demko, and the photography they have the camera behind him looking up into the stadium, or like the camera's in the net. It's just phenomenal. So I've got a few copies of that. Black and white version and the color version. You put them together, it looks really great. So
you could easily fill a whole hour show like this just looking at canvas cards from over the last 15 years. There's that many good ones.
Yeah, I had heard of the product, but I just thought it was like this secondary brand to Young Guns. And then I found out what it really was, and I started researching. I'm like, these cards are expensive. Like they're a lot more, like they're worth a lot more than you would imagine. Some
Absolutely.
of them are worth almost as much as their Young Guns card, depending on the photo or whatever. I've fallen in love with them. So those and the Young Guns right now, that's all I look at on eBay anymore. I got to stay away.
They usually include some retired legends and Hall of Famers too, as like short printed canvas cards, and those go for big money most of the time.
All right, Shane, it's back your way, buddy.
Okay,
By the way,
so
I gotta ask you. It's been a whole week. Do you feel like do you kind of float on a cloud now that you're in the Hall of Fame? How do you feel? Like, how do you deal with that kind of pressure every day, waking up going, I'm in the Hall of Fame?
To be honest, so I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, because these guys put in a tremendous amount of work, and it's a really fun shout out opportunity for the community. But I've always been a little conflicted about it, because in my mind, it's like if you collect cards and you have a smartphone and enough courage to get on camera and talk about them, like and make content regularly, then to me, you're a Hall of Famer. Like, there's not a whole lot of difference between any of us. We're collecting sports cards. We're talking about it. So in the one sense, I've always been a little conflicted. I know some people get offended or have thin skin about the ballots and stuff, but at the end of the day, it is a good feeling to kind of be recognized by your peers and people that you respect in the hobby, and to hear your name shouted out or hear your channel mentioned. I definitely do appreciate it. So
I think that's the biggest thing is I don't need a little plaque or anything to know that that enough people thought of you for your content and what you bring. I think that's a pretty cool deal. I think everybody should, I get where you're coming from in that conflicted thing, because you just kind of want to do your thing and go on. But I also think I think Mike Moynihan started something that's pretty cool in a way to recognize people, but it's not this big fancy glitz thing. It's just, okay, every year we're going to do this. And if you get it, it's just basically the community saying, we like you and you've done this enough that you should be rewarded, and this is how we're going to reward you.
Exactly. There's so many great channels out there, and it's not easy to, I mean, it's easy to create content. It's not difficult, but it's, in another way, it's not easy to consistently create content for years on end. It takes a lot of time and dedication, so it does feel good to get a little pat on the back in that sense. So
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, because they had the older, like the older people have been on for a while, and I didn't know of a lot of them.
right.
And some of these people got channels 10, 12, 13, 15 years they've been doing this. And I'm like, I've been doing it for 3 months, I'm like, wow. So those people, that's a dedication, man. That's doing something that you love. I thought I would never do this, but one of the things that changed my mind was, in reality, my grandchildren will be able to see me when I'm gone. And that matters to me.
Exactly.
Is they'll be able to just click on and go, hey, let's see Grandpa, what he's doing this time. What stupid card is he talking about now? But to me, it's kind of a cool way that we can all leave a gift or a little something for our loved ones who, if they miss us, they can just turn this on. That's one of the great gifts that I get out of this, is knowing that I can keep this up and my grandchildren can look at it. And one of my grandchildren right now already watches some of it.
Nice.
They're fascinated by their grandpa doing this,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
great.
That's a great point. I mean, my grandpa, he lived to be 100.5 years old. He passed away. It's been a while now, almost 10 years. But one of the things that we treasure is he made audio recordings, and he called them "Talking Songs by Don," and all it was just him sitting at a microphone telling dumb jokes and singing. And we've kept those recordings, and we listen to them all the time. So. Yeah, this is a great avenue for that kind of thing as well. That's cool.
And the nice part is, like, this is the best part about doing this, right? Is just getting to know people, doing collaboration,
Yes.
sharing your hobby. And, like, you don't need to be on YouTube for 3 years to do that, or to get any Hall of Fame votes to do that. You just need a smartphone and some thoughts about cards and the guts to kind of just put it out there, and then everybody's really welcoming. So everybody gets to benefit from that. So
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
I
Go
really
ahead.
noticed that as soon as Shane became a Hall of Famer, he got his head up in the air and he's all snooty now. He's untouchable.
big time. Yeah, I almost canceled tonight, but I was like, I'll go. I'll do it.
well, let's show cards. We don't need to embarrass Shane anymore, but congrats. It is a
Well, thank you. I really do
cool
appreciate it. So this is going to be my last round, I promise, of buybacks. But I do have, so those were Pro Set and Fleer Ultra the first time around. But I also collect Upper Deck buybacks. So they're, of course, they're the gold standard of hockey cards in general for the last 35 years. They've actually had the longest running consecutive production of like a flagship hockey release now in the history of hockey cards, from 1990 to present. That's longer than Topps or O-Pee-Chee or any other brand in hockey history. So I love the Upper Deck flagship cards just
Yes.
because of that lineage. So this one is a buyback. They did a program in 2019 that was like a 30th anniversary for their inaugural set in 1990. And they made a whole separate set with its own design and everything. The set was called Upper Deck Buybacks. But then in each box, you would get a single one-of-one buyback. And it was one of the prior Upper Deck cards from their 30-year run at that point. So I pick these up every once in a while. And this one I found last month. So this is just an everyday common player, Jim McKenzie. But I obviously was drawn to this because I'm a huge Hartford Whalers fan and Hartford Whalers collector. They were my team growing up. My whole family, ate, slept, and breathed the Whalers. My brothers and I were junior Whalers, hockey players, and went to the camps and Junior Whalers Day and all of that. So this is, a really obscure card. But for me, I don't get a lot of chances to add new Whalers cards to my collection, given that they've been out of town now for 30 years. But this buyback program, every once in a while, a Whaler will surface, and if it's available for cheap enough, I'll snag it. And I know it's artificial scarcity, and this isn't all that different from the millions of other copies of this Jim McKenzie 1991 Upper Deck that are out there. But to me, it's just a cool card that reminds me of my hockey youth fandom. So
That's why you do it. That's awesome.
that's it. And then they actually have a couple of other buyback programs that Upper Deck's done over the years. So in 2014, they did a 25th anniversary. And these were only included in the Upper Deck French boxes that year. But these are, they're stamped. You can see there's a little silver stamp in the corner there. And they're all hand numbered to 25 copies on each card. So this is the Theo Fleury All-Star card here.
Nice.
That is great.
From the 1990 release, numbered to 25, but really great, fun player. And especially this first inaugural Upper Deck set is just really important in the overall history of hockey cards. So anytime I can find a Hall of Famer or star player in buyback format from this set, it's very, very tempting.
Well, talk about stacked with rookies. My gosh, that first year had everybody, and they were all beautiful cards. I mean, that was my favorite set maybe ever. And until I do love the Ultra product. So when the Fleer Ultra product came out, I was giddy. I must have put 10 sets together. That's how much I bought. I just loved it. I had everything. I had all the chase cards. You name anything, I had it.
Yeah, 1990 in general, well, that was the year the hockey card landscape like really exploded. You know, prior to that, it was like a Topps and O-Pee-Chee world for a couple decades or longer prior. And then all of a sudden in 1990, you had Upper Deck and Score and Pro Set and O-Pee-Chee Premier and all these other sets. So it really exploded in 1990.
Yep, Parkhurst.
But yeah, there's another one, Parkhurst. So I got one more in this round, and this is another Upper Deck buyback, and this is one that I've tried to find for years, and I was so excited that it finally surfaced. So in 2010, they did a 20th anniversary buyback program of that original 1990 release. The cards aren't serial numbered, but they have this big giant foil stamp right on the front that's like a 20th anniversary stamp, so they're pretty easy to tell.
That's Gilney. That's one of our boys.
And yeah, so you kind of teed me up perfectly for this one, but you mentioned all the good rookies that were in the 1990 set, and this is one of them. So I was able to track down his rookie card in buyback format, and he's a recent Hall of Famer. He was finally elected, I think, in last year to the Hall of Fame, and well deserving. And so found his rookie card in buyback format during the month of February. And it took me 15 years of looking before I finally tracked one of these down, so that was pretty rewarding.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're very, very scarce. You just don't run across them. You may see a handful, every few months, but they're usually common players, or you don't see the star players often. So getting that rookie was a pretty big win.
So Shane, do you get out much?
No, you know what? I have I heard you talk about
when you
this.
have a save list for 15 years, I'm starting to worry. I'm worrying.
It's the power of eBay. So I heard you talk about this recently, I think with Greg from Midlife, about how primarily you're getting a lot of your cards online because you have limited shows. With me, my time is kind of my enemy, so I don't get a lot of time to go to hobby shops or shows. There are some in my area. So I live and breathe off eBay, but the beauty is with the saved search and the alerts that are related to that, you just set a bunch of traps and just let them sit, for years at a time, and eventually stuff surfaces and you just kind of sit and wait, and then sometimes something will come up that maybe isn't even a fit for me, but is a fit for a friend of mine. So like I sent Rob that link, I have a search for the hockey stick relics from Upper Deck Engraved, and when that Sedin card came up, I was like, man, I know who would love to have this. And so I'm always shooting off links to my hobby buddies and friends too, just to kind of help them too. So
yeah, no, I love eBay. I love looking at it, and that's the only way I'm going to get certain things, because there's not a lot of hockey on the West Coast. There are some big shots up in Portland, but for me, that's almost 4 hours of driving. And I have a local shop here that has really good vintage, but only for baseball.
Yep.
And they don't have anything else. So I have to get a lot of stuff, and I look for lots. I look for good deals. Every so often I get on ComC and I'll find that's where I picked up quite a few of those young guns were there, because some had been sitting a long time. And so guys were wanting to get them out. So I was able to get some of the guys before they won the gold, because right after they won the gold, everybody's price went up.
Exactly. Yep. Those guys won't have to buy a beer here in the States ever again, I don't think.
No.
Yep.
No, first of all, just some of the plays, but that last play and that's why the one-timer is maybe the greatest thing in the history of sports. Watching a guy one-time a puck that's flying at him at 80 miles an hour is a feat that most men couldn't do.
Agreed. Yep.
And I think it's really underrated. And to watch Jack Hughes do that and dial that up and put it right where he wanted to, in the only place he could put it, is why these guys playing on skates, going backwards, are the greatest athletes in the world.
Can't disagree. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see, you can't even get a defensive back to go back on his before he turns around and runs. You got these defensemen going all the way back and no one
Right.
getting by him.
And it's a
Skating
full
as fast as you and I skating forward.
and a full contact sport too, right? So
Yes.
you have that mix of like finesse and skill, but a full contact sport at the same time. So
Oh, I love seeing a guy go in the third row. All right, Rob, your turn to show some stuff.
Well, he kind of teed me up too. I know I grabbed this. We all kind of had a few different text threads going with talking about buying the now cards of the gold medal game.
Right.
But, we're also waiting on those to come. Obviously, I'm going to get that autograph one, so you guys can forget that because that's coming to me. But no, I saw this one. This is all the Hughes brothers together when they played together. I don't know if you can see the date. The date is on there. It was like sometime in December, I think, where this was taken. But yeah, so this was back obviously before the trade. So our boy Quinn was still in the black and yellow, but with his two brothers. So I saw that one. I had to snag that one. That was too good to pass up. Put it up in the Slab City already too, but.
I like Slab City, baby.
Love it.
I don't have, I'm sure MagPro has some slabs that are the correct size, but I just put this in a penny sleeve and stuck it in there, and it seems to be holding okay. But anyways, that was too good to pass up with our guy and his two brothers. So,
awesome.
Then as long as you had showed the Mogilny, this is actually I bought a lot of it was just random Canucks cards, and it was something like I don't even know how many cards are in there, but I bought probably 25 or 30 cards, and the whole thing was like $5. So
nice.
anyways, but this Mogilny was in there, so had a little foil on there and looked pretty sharp. And I'm a sucker for that flying skate logo, and that shows it off pretty well. So
I think I noticed you're rocking the T-shirt, if I'm not mistaken, right?
oh yeah,
yeah, he's got it on, baby.
Yeah,
Original colors.
Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of time when I got home from work, but I had enough time to throw on the hat and the T-shirt. So, and then I think Adam, you showed one of these. This is an acetate. I don't know if this is gonna show up on the camera too well. But anyways, this is a Swayman. So I thought I'd grab this one. I thought I'd show with Shane over there in Boston Country, and Adam, you just showed one of him. He was on the bench, but he was on the team. So
yep,
this is a cool looking card. I'm a sucker for anything acetate, but especially the acetate in hockey. I think it just really looks sharp in the hockey cards. So
they're very appropriate for a game played on ice. Yeah, they're definitely extra cool for hockey.
Absolutely.
I like all the white space in that one too. Like, is there like a profile photo of them in the background there in the white space?
Yeah. I don't know if you can make that out because my ugly mug is in the background. But yeah, that's a beautiful card. So even if it was a Bruins card, I can appreciate them anyways.
There you go. So I was watching High Pop Professor a couple of days ago, and he showed these really cool Maddox, because he always shows Maddox, some Maddox insert cards or chase cards, but they were beautiful. So I just wanted to go see what they look like. So I brought them up on eBay and found out that hockey did them the same year. It's the 97, 98 Epics. And they had
nice.
You had the purple, the green, or the red, or the orange. And so I got a couple. Pavel did play and game. They would have like 4 different sayings, and each one becoming rarer and rarer.
Very nice.
This one is his play, and this one is his game. But I got all 3 of those. I mean, these things aren't cheap, but I got a pretty good deal because I bought them all 3 from the same guy. But they did them for a haul, and I think they did them for like 6 players. But those things are really cool. I just love them. And then I'm going to show you my other young guns, but these are some of the ladies I collect out of the PWHL because I watch.
Oh, sweet.
PW, and this is Gabby Hughes, plays for Ottawa. She's a really good player. played on the Canadian team. Grace Zumwinkle played for American team. Plays for Minnesota, the Frost. And then Elena Mueller plays for Boston. She's out of Switzerland. She played on the Swiss team. One of the leading scorers in the league. She's really, really good. But I've slowly picked up some of them because I'm trying to actually do the whole women's team in Young Guns, but many of them don't have Young Guns.
Right.
And some of them, there's like 8 of them that were still in college this year. So hopefully next year I can add a lot of those.
Do you know, are those the same format where like they're part of the base set but short printed, or do you know?
Yes.
Yep. Nice.
In fact, they did 1 to 50 was the base set, and 51 to 70 was the Young Guns.
Nice.
And then in there they have all these different chase cards, and you can get the Young Guns in, I think 100, which is exclusives, and then the 10, which I think is what they do. I know one year they did acetate, I think for 1 or 2 years, but most of the time, but what I'm trying to do, one of my things I'm doing by doing this stuff is, so like Brady to Chuck, I'll get his Young Guns card, his Young Guns tribute card if he has one, his Young Guns renewed card if he has one, and the Young Guns upper deck canvas.
Yep.
And then the jumbo. So my goal is on some of my favorite players is to get all 5 and to have them as a group.
Love that.
Very cool. I think it's fantastic just how the women's game is growing. I mean, just in the last 5 years, it's really exploded around here. And I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out. I got to brag a little bit. My girls at the school district that I work for, they're playing the state tournament tomorrow night. So that's
sweet.
So I don't know if any of those kids watch some of them might watch the channel, but they probably aren't watching Adam's channel, but I'll shout them out. Go Jenna, go Jane. I work with their mom at work. So we're pretty excited about that. A lot of sports happening around here this time of year. So
awesome.
Yeah, the women's game, this is their 3rd year of having organized hockey and they went about it the right way. And they added 2 teams this year. And the hockey, I don't think I've watched a bad game yet this year. It's all on YouTube for free. You don't have to. Nice. You just, when the games are on, just click on YouTube and it comes up in your feed. And the hockey is just outstanding because they've got the best players from Europe and the best players from Canada and the best players from the United States. And I think that's why you'll see the women's game in the next 10 years. The Olympics won't be so automatic Canadian and USA. I think you'll see a couple other teams. The Swiss got the bronze this year, and they were really good. They weren't that far behind. And if you get more Swiss girls coming over and playing in the PWHL, I think it's just going to make them better. And there's talk of expanding even a couple more teams to give 48 more people a chance, or 40 more people.
Yeah, I mean the product is good enough where I definitely feel like it can withstand that expansion. Sometimes you expand and then you realize, oh no, the product is going to fall off, but I think they're ready for it.
Well, they're being smart. And, last year they played 12 different games that were at nobody's home park. They were called, just 2 teams would show up in Denver and play there. They wanted to see the response. Well, they've done it this year too. They got a name for it, but they're going to like 12 different cities again. Cities that don't have hockey. Get a reading for that. They could put one in Pittsburgh tomorrow. It would sell out. Mario Lemieux's already talked about being part of the ownership. There's places they could put these teams, and they're going to have plenty of people to field it. They say this year's class coming out of the NCAA, there's probably most of the people drafted are going to be from the NCAA. That's how good it is. And then the rest are going to come from Europe because there's nothing else to feed.
Right.
But they're growing it smart. They're doing their marketing right. They're doing it really well. And the hockey, there's hardly any games that are blowouts. They're all really competitive games.
Yeah.
Very
unlike the Canucks games lately.
Yeah, no.
They're
I don't even know if
competitive at all.
I don't know if the Canucks could beat the women's team right now.
I don't think so.
It's pretty bad hockey.
Well, it's frustrating.
Yep. All right, Shane, show some more.
All right, so I got another trio here, and you kind of gave me a nice segue into these too, because you mentioned briefly the Upper Deck exclusives, number to 100. Those have been cards I've collected for years and years. So every month, usually in my hockey pickups every month, there's a couple of exclusives cards, and February was no different. This one I was really proud to find. So this is Brett Hull from the 1998-99 Upper Deck flagship set.
Yeah.
And what's cool about this one, this is the first year that they introduced the exclusives parallel, and the first year that they had serial numbered parallels in their flagship hockey set period. So pretty significant for that reason. But it also coincides with, this was Brett Hull's first year with Dallas after the trade from St. Louis, and he actually helped lead the Stars to a Stanley Cup in the 98-99 playoffs. So this is, I love when like success in the world of sports coincides with innovativeness in the hobby. And so this is an example of that happening in hockey. And I was so pumped when this surfaced on eBay. And the seller took my offer of $15 for this card for Brett Hull.
Gosh.
It's numbered they did the serial numbering on the back of these in really nice bronze serial numbering. And for all those reasons, I mean, for $15, I couldn't believe it. So
I could see that if it was a common, Shane, but not Hull. I would have assumed that would have run you $30 to $40.
Same, and he's actually the man. Kind of trivia fact: I think he scored the most goals of any player in the '90s as a decade. So that kind of makes that one cool too.
Yeah.
Well, and there's between him and his line mate, they get no love in the hobby. And his line mate was Adam Oates, who is one of the greatest centers to ever walk this earth. He would Brett Hull said, I didn't have to do anything but shoot because the puck was going to be right there. He just laid it out for me. And
exactly.
And Oates' cards are beyond dirt cheap.
Yep.
It annoys me to no end that I can find those cards for as low as $5 sometimes. And I just want to do you not have a clue who this guy is?
Yeah, he's one of the best setup men of all time. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
I mean, think of the two wingers that benefited from him.
Right.
I mean, he made two guys look really, really good.
No doubt. So I got that one, and I got two other exclusives. So these come from the next season, the 1999 release. Okay. So this is the second year that they did the exclusives parallel. But what happened, of course, in 1999 is Wayne Gretzky retired. So this was, 98-99 was his last season. So this was the first set to come out post-retirement. And obviously recognizing that he was the greatest player of all time, they gave him the first 10 cards on the checklist for 1999 Upper Deck Hockey as like a tribute. So all 10 cards just feature Wayne Gretzky. They're base cards, different photos and different teams, but they're all Gretzky cards. And this past month, I actually got two of them in exclusives, UD exclusives format. So this is card number 7 on the 99 checklist. And in this case, they serial numbered them right on the front in this like silver area.
Wow,
here.
how beautiful is that?
But yeah, gorgeous shot of him with the Oilers there. And this is, again, from that 10 card, like post-career tribute. I think it's really cool that they did that. I think they did something similar for Michael Jordan, who actually retired around the same time for the first time. So he got a multi-card tribute as well. But just something neat that Upper Deck did to kind of tip their cap to the great one as he was hanging up the skates for the final time. And I'm always seeking these out, trying to find the exclusives, because I'd love to complete a Wayne Gretzky run of exclusives cards. That's a hobby goal that I have. So card number 7. And then also from that first run of 10 cards this past month, I found card number 8, the next one on the checklist, also in UD exclusives, number to 100 format there. So pretty cool.
Beautiful.
Those are absolutely stunning. So I have a question for you, Shane. Knowing that you're a big Gretzky fan, and who wouldn't be, but is Gretzky the greatest hockey player?
I think so. If you force me to answer that question, I say yes. But I fully acknowledge how difficult it is to compare players in a sport where there's different positions and different objectives. So like, how can you really say that Wayne Gretzky was better than Patrick Waugh or Bobby Orr was better than Wayne Gretzky when the whole objective of their positions and what they were trying to accomplish on the ice are two vastly different things between forwards and defensemen and goaltenders. So generally speaking, if I had to narrow it all down and pick one player, I would say Gretzky is the greatest of all time. I mean, he won the MVP like 8 straight years when he came into the league. I mean, nobody had ever seen anything like that. I know Ovechkin broke his goal record, but he set so many other records that are never going to be touched. And 200-point seasons, season after season, just stuff we're never going to see again. So I have to go with Gretzky, but I put an asterisk next to it because there's just so many other players in different positions that, were equally good at what they were doing.
Yeah, so basically I should have said at forward or the front line.
Yep.
Only because I'm curious, because I think of Gordie Howe as the greatest because of, well, in my eyes, the greatest, because he'd put you in the third row and score a goal on you.
Absolutely.
Gretzky's game was different. It was that high. It was Loyola Marymount on ice.
Yep.
That's
Agreed.
exactly what Edmonton wanted. They wanted to fight and get you in a 4-on-4 because they would blow past you. Their
Right.
defensemen were faster than Anderson and Coffey and all those guys. These guys were blurs,
100%.
And so it's interesting to hear. I don't think either one of us are wrong. And I
Agreed.
think they both are on the same plane.
Yep.
But I also don't think that you could clarify them as the best player, because I think you could make an argument for Bobby Orr. I think you could make an argument for Ken Dryden. I think you could probably make an argument for a couple other players, especially the ones in the 50s and 60s when the scoring was different and the way the game was played was different. And then you come up to our time, and would Gretzky be considered so far above anybody else that played with him?
Right.
What if Lemieux would have had those 4 or 5 more years that he lost to sickness? Would that have taken that gap and shifted? Because for about a 10-year gap, there were only 3 players they talked about. It was Gretzky, Lemieux, and Yzerman.
Right.
That was in the conversation every year. Who's going to lead in scoring? Who's going to do that? And those 3 guys and they deserved all the pub.
Right.
But it's interesting because Lemieux was more of a two-way player. He would put you in the third row if he needed to. He just wasn't going to go out of his way to do it.
Right.
Howe would chase you down to his mother's house and still put you in there. Like if he was on you, he wasn't quitting. And that was the difference of the era and the different of the time. So I'm always curious what true hockey people think of.
It's hard to really compare people. Some of those guys are skating out there without a helmet on. That makes a difference. And how
you had the Gordie Howe hat trick. A goal, an assist, and a fist fight was the Gordie Howe hat trick. So I mean, that's how can you beat that?
Well, you think of you think of Johnny Bauer, and you think of Gump Worsley and all these guys of that era that didn't wear masks, that had the puck being shot at them at 80 miles an hour. These guys, none of the players wearing helmets.
Yep.
I'm surprised we didn't have more deaths or people just losing their mind and just whacking each other with the stick, because of the way the game was played. But it was still a sport and still a game. And now it's like you're watching ballet on ice almost, because these athletes are so superior. To watch a McDavid go from one end to the other, if you're not paying attention, you're not going to see it because it's going to be that quick. And then you have the goaltenders that are standing on their heads now and making these unbelievable saves, and defensemen like Quinn Hughes, you can't get the puck away from them.
Right.
I mean, the skill level and the ability for these guys to keep themselves in shape all year has changed a lot about this game and made it in a lot of ways better. And in some ways you kind of lose a little bit of that nostalgia.
So one more quick thing. I know we got to get to Rob, but you kind of reminded me of it because I know you're a big statistics guy. So on Hockey Reference, same as Baseball Reference, there's a hockeyreference.com.
Oh yeah, no, I know of all of them.
they have a really cool statistic that I've looked at because I'm a big fan of the career goal record, which is why I like Ovechkin and Gretzky and Gordie Howe. So they have an adjusted goals stat that they keep. You can Google this, and it tries to kind of like WAR tries to boil everything down to one common set of stats. So this is the goal total, but it takes into account things like the eras that the guys were playing in, how high scoring the rest of the league was if you subtract them from the rest of the league, how many teams were in the league, how many games were played each season, how many players were on a roster. and in turn how much ice time guys got on average, and it takes all of that into account, and it provides an adjusted goal total. And you'll see a lot of the same names that are on the standard leader list, but they're definitely in a different order. You'll get a new appreciation for some of the older guys if you look at that adjusted goal total. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. The other stack I have here is tied to a project that I've been a little secretive about. I mentioned that I had a project that I was working on, and I can let the cat out of the bag a little bit. John over at Nerding Out with Cards, he had suggested I should have a binder boulevard. So I thought, well, what could I do to have a binder boulevard project? So I came up with this idea. And so I've got a binder. They've got 9 cards on a page. So on the 9 cards, I'm putting together a binder of 1 sheet per year starting with the 70s and 80s. So in this sheet, I've got a card that's the American League MVP, the National League MVP, the American League Cy Young, the National League Cy Young. So I got those 4 baseball cards. But then I also have the NFL MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the NBA MVP, the Hart Trophy winner, and then you guys, I got to admit here, I'm a golf guy. I collect golf cards, so I also have 1 slot on that page that is the PGA Golfer of the Year. So I'm putting together this binder, one starting in 1970 all the way up through 1989. So I'm doing the 70s and 80s, and maybe I'll expand. But I'm going to be honest, a lot of the hockey cards that I've been buying this month, outside of the relics that I had shown, have been part of that project. So I bought some cards for the Hart Trophy winners from the 70s and 80s. Here's a Phil Esposito. Not all of them have the Hart Trophy on it like this, but it's kind of just representing that one. Mario Lemieux, I don't know what year this was, maybe 88. Did he win it?
Yep.
So there's that. And of course, like you said, Gretzky pretty much hogged the entire decade of the 80s. So I got to pick up a bunch of Gretzky's, and I'm picking up, some of these are O-Pee-Chee, some of them are tops, and then I've got this is a Bobby Clark from, I think, maybe 78,
76. That's like the 76 glossy.
Yeah, so there's that one. I got Lafleur.
Nice.
78.
Could be, and I wish I'm blind as a bat in the dark without my cheaters on, but so I can't read.
That one's a 78. Yep.
Yeah, and then here's another Gretzky for whatever.
84. That one is.
84, and then I got one more Gretzky that, I had to buy a whole bunch of Gretzky.
The 84, 85.
So
love
anyway,
it.
That's that binder Boulevard project I'm working on. With 2 decades and 9 cards in each sheet, there's 180 cards, and I think I'm over 100 cards deep into it now. I've got
nice,
like maybe even pushing 110 cards. But one of these days, I'll get deep enough into it where I'll dig out the binder and show it on my channel someday. But the hockey cards were real fun to look at, because these are cards. I didn't collect hockey back when I was a kid, so a lot of these cards are kind of new to me, and so it's been a fun project.
Very cool.
Yeah, I put on there that 9-page pocket project that I'm doing.
Yeah,
and I'm doing it. I'm also going to end up doing it for hockey down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm going to put a page together of every year, but the baseball one is I'm almost having to get another binder. Done so much, so I've enjoyed it. It's nice to have a project like that, but I like to have lots of projects, because I'm just one of those guys that I like to have more stuff and more things to work on.
Hadn't noticed.
Yeah, probably not. So I'm going to show you my last stack is a bunch. I'm not going to show you everything, but one thing I do like is collecting. There's certain goaltenders I like. Dosto for Anaheim, Saros for Nashville. So, and now with that news, so this is the Peter Kochek, played for your Whalers. Well,
Yep.
Kings now. Bobrovsky, who's one of the
Nice.
best.
Mhm.
But I love these cards. Lucas Dastos, a set. And I just got 4 or 5 of them out of it. And then the used Saros. And then they have these ones called Ooh La La. I don't know if you've ever seen these.
Huh.
This was a pretty cool little set they did one year. I just picked up the Dasso. This is the Gibson. And then this one was, I love color. So this is another, sorry, it's called Counterpose. It was one of 30 out of the Skybox or the Skybox Metal, but Upper Deck owns Skybox Metal, right?
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Then I picked up a couple of these electrics of this is Anze Kopitar
Yep.
and then Matthew Tkachuk.
Sweet.
Anytime I can pick up stuff like this pretty cheap, I picked up all of this pretty good price, but these are all my other Saros and a few of the other guys I have. And so this is a card I thought was pretty cool. It's called the Collaborations, which is what we're doing here. And this
Nice.
had Tavares and Matthews. I don't know if you remember seeing these out of the SPX.
I haven't seen that. Those are nice.
They did a whole. Here's the one of LA. They were all real nice. They were all with a white border, but they look really nice. And they did them for every team. Quinn Hughes' this playlist card. This is
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's a beautiful.
That's pretty sweet looking. These are really nice. They're called Portraits by Upper Deck. This is Charlie McAvoy, who was in. But I mean, these are just really clean looking. I was amazed at how nice they are. But one of my favorite players, another guy who does not get enough pub, is Stamkos, who's a stud. But look at that card.
Yep.
He's throwing the puck up and over. It's a canvas card. Like, I saw those canvas cards and I like bright, shiny cards. I do like some shiny cards. So
That's tiny.
here's one of Savankovich. And here's my Alex Tuck. My
Of
canvas
course.
to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then here's a couple more. These are the ones I didn't show you. This is Evander Kane in the old Atlantic
Thrashers. Yep.
Thrashers. This is his Young Guns. Michael DiPietro, who played for the Islanders and then came to the Canucks at the end of his career.
Pietro.
Yeah. Spencer Knight starts for his. Vitek Vanacek. Another. I mean, and I picked all these up for $1 or $2.
Nice.
A guy had a lot on, and I when they had decent players in, like this Alexander Nylander, these are 2 young rookies coming up, but it had a pretty good lot. It had, I think, 6 of the Olympic guys, and so I was like, oh man, okay, I gotta do that. And then of course I picked up a couple of these, but what's really cool is these last 3. This is a 4 of 5 in the red. So this is really where this is of Quinn getting traded. Celebrini, this is 7 out of 10.
Wow.
And this is 3 out of 10. Another Celebrini.
Wow.
So when you buy those and you buy them they come in sets of 5.
Right.
If you buy them every so often, you'll get those thrown in. A lot of times you don't get them.
Right.
I got all 3 of those in the same batch.
Wow.
So I got
That reminds me of Rob getting 2 golds in his one Tops Now batch. That's crazy.
That was very fun. I had never gotten one until that one order, and I got 2 of them in the same order. That was pretty great.
If you're gonna hit on something though, Celebrini is. You could do a lot worse. That kid is the real deal. For what he's doing as a teenager in the league is just insane. He looks like the real deal.
Well, he was the best player on Canada.
Yep.
He was the best player in that tournament on Canada. Might have been the best player in the tournament. I mean, he was everywhere in that didn't it in the American game, the gold medal game, didn't he hit the crossbar once or twice?
Yeah, he's very special player. Yep.
Yeah. So, well, guys, that has been a lot of cards we just shown. I didn't even share every one of them because we'd be here for another hour. By the way, just to give you a little heads up, this is my stack for next month. I got them today. So, I'm ready to go, guys. I'm ready to go.
Gonna have to have an overtime segment, next month. Yep.
We'll go to next week. But first of all, Shane, yeah, you can join us anytime, buddy. We'd love to have you. This is awesome, and we should just keep this thing going. I think it's great. I think it's a chance for 3 people to talk about hockey, and I hope to have some more vintage hockey, a little bit more coming soon. But right now, I've been getting all giddy with these damn young guns. So
well, I definitely appreciate the invite. You guys are definitely 2 people that I consider close friends in the hobby, and this is the first time I've gotten to do a collab with either one of you. So really appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
well, Shane, you're the one that turned me on to Bucks and Six, and then when I asked him to be on the show, he was all giddy, and I thought, well, this guy's going to be easy. He's going to come on with me. I didn't know who the hell I am. But God bless him. Now he's like, oh, we're just talking all the time, and that's today. So Shane and Rob and I were all texting at the same time. Steve from Vintage on Vintage and John P are texting me about something, and then Rob is texting me from Cash, Rob's Cash Cards, and then I get another one from Greg at Midlife. So I'm texting all these people time, and then I get a text from Chris from Missouri going, "Hey, give me a call. We'll chat." 45 minutes later, I'm off the phone with Chris from Missouri. I had a good day. All because of this hobby. None of those people were in my life 3 months ago.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it shows you what can change, and just be able to ask questions or talk. I texted you, Shane, a couple times just during the Olympics, but just, to be able to do that real quick, or to ask a question, or, I saw that card, or, where did you get that card or something? It's just great. I mean, I've talked about it a lot on this channel. I'm really big into mental fitness as much as physical fitness, because I think it's real important, because most of us on here are middle-aged males. Let's be honest. It's who we are that have take up most of this genre. And it's a great thing to get together and just visit, and to be able to talk and share stuff. And now you have these friends everywhere. It's like I got friends from one aisle to the other.
Well, I love that you've jumped right in with all the interviews, that you've really been doing a good job. So I look forward to one with Chris from Missouri, I'm sure, coming soon.
It is. He finally told me he'd come on, so we're going to have it. But, I used to interview a lot of people, being in the sports field like I was in. I got a chance to interview a ton of people, either on my radio talk show or when I was writing for Oregon. I'd have to interview coaches and players. So you kind of get a feel, like when I had Orlando on, the feel that I got was, this guy's about ready to spill his whole life, so I need to shut the hell up and get out of his way. And he went on and told that beautiful story of coming over, his dad having nothing, starting from scratch and everything. And that's like gold to me.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
I didn't have to do much. I just had to say, tell me about who you are. I want to know. And he just went, and I was like, bingo, this is going to be good, because we're going to get to see and get to know. And that's how we all are going to get to know each other even more, or knowing a little bit about that. So I found it fascinating.
Well, keep them coming. I know you will.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
Love it.
I got a lot. I was supposed to have 5 videos in 7 nights, but unfortunately Tyler from 5 Cent Wax got COVID, the poor guy. And so it canceled our Friday one. So I did 4 over the last 7 nights. I've done 4 of these.
Nice.
So because Greg came out today, and then you guys will come out in 2 days. And or tomorrow. You'll come out tomorrow. So hey, again, thank you, Shane. We're going to have you again.
Yep.
Probably even next month. So just kind of count on it.
Sounds
and
good.
Rob, as always, thanks for joining me, buddy. And you go get some rest, because you actually need it.
Yeah, well, it's not going to stop for a couple days yet, but we do have spring break coming, so I'm looking forward to that. So,
all righty, guys. Well, you all take it easy, and we'll talk soon.
All right, thanks.
Take care, guys.
See ya.